everybody, welcome to the Fairy Vibrant Makeup channel. I'm going to do a first impressions type of review-ish. I don't like to say I do reviews, but I wanted to kind of, I don't know, I just wanted to try this out. I've been dying to try this out, and I finally, my husband actually gave it to me for our anniversary, so I'm really excited. So I decided to do a video on it. And it's on the Shade and Light Glimmer palette, so I'm actually very excited because I used to have the Shade and Light regular eye palette and I loved it. I used it to death. It died on me. You know, I use things until they're dead, but usually if I don't film it, I do use it on a regular basis. Just let you know, just because you don't see it on my channel, I do use it a lot. You've seen my collection video. I'll link that down below so you can see. I use things, every single palette that I own, I will give it all love. And if I end up not using it as much as I want to, then I kind of like either pass it on to someone that would want it, I sanitize and everything, or I just, you know, depending on how old it is too, if it's old then I toss it. But I do use a lot of things to death, and I use the Kat Von D Shade and Light eye palette, the regular, the matte formula, to death. So I wanted to try out the Glimmer formula because I'm a sucker for metallics and glimmery shadows, so I wanted to see what it is. So you're gonna see my lips change throughout the video. My husband bought me this too. This is the Ciate London Glitter Flip. So this is in the shade Iconic. So it's black, but when you press your lips together, more and more glitter just end up showing up. And it's kiss proof. If you want me to do a video on the wear throughout the day, just let me know in the comments down below. That way you can see if you want to really get it. So I'm not going to tell you my thoughts on this yet because I would rather do a video. Anyways, this is what the box looks like. It's got that holographic, beautiful packaging. So yeah, it's got that beautiful holographicness to it. It has the shades on the back of the box. And then the difference is I wish I still had my Shade and Light eye palette. I should have just kept it just for collector's purposes. But they changed the packaging on the original Shade and Light eye palette, the matte formula, and then this is the Glimmer palette. So it has a little bit of sparkle on the Kat Von D portion and the eye. I actually really like this packaging better because through use, I rubbed off Kat Von D. It was gone. Everything was just rubbing off, and this one at least is a plastic and it has those raised letterings, so it has a little bit more durability for the price. I mean, that's good. So let's open up the package. It has its own freestanding mirror, and then these are the shades. Very pretty. Everything is going to be metallic, glittery, or satin, something like that. It does have the shades in the back as well, so I'm going to swatch these on my hand via finger just because I wanted to see the color, but you will see how it performs on my eyes because I did film me performing it on my eyes. And yeah, let's get into the swatches. let's get into what the tutorial is and how it performs on my eyes so you can see firsthand if it blends really well or if it's pigmented enough. I do want to note that I did use my finger to apply on the inner portion of my eye, like the inner corners and then the middle of my eye, just because that's my method of doing that. I like doing that when I do a halo eye. I like putting it with my fingers so that I can kind of make it perfect, because my finger's the perfect size to make it work in the center. That's just my preference. You don't have to do that. It does perform pretty well with a brush, and I will show you really quickly. The color that I have is bronze, and I picked it up with a flat brush. And as you can see, it does perform very well with a brush. So it's not like you're not, and yes, there's going to be fallout. That's the thing, is I did experience a lot of fallout, but I prefer this kind of palette. I don't mind it. I don't mind the fallout. I can always do my makeup afterwards. That's what I prefer doing anyways, so that's my method of doing it. I'll put my lid stuff on first and then do the rest of my face and then put the lower lash line. So that's just my way of doing it, but you will experience fallout. So alright, let's get into the tutorial. Alright, so I took my Ulta Beauty Nude Matte Eyeshadow Primer and then I just primed my eyes. Then I went in with Extra Creamy from the Peanut Butter and Jelly palette by Too Faced. Then I took Dune, which is that peachy shade. It's not really a matte, but it's more like a satin. And I put that all over the crease. Then I took Onyx, which was the black shade. And I used just a e.l.f., I think it was a smudger brush. And I just apply that on the outer and inner portion of my eyes and then kind of linked them together. And I left a space in the middle. Then I went in with Dusk to try and blend out the edges. This color was just not blending out for me, so yeah, I mean, I'm trying to use the entire palette. So then I took, I think this is, oh gosh, I can't remember the shade, Cinder. It's Cinder. So I took that and I ended up blending that into the crease, and that actually kind of faded out the black. Then took Onyx again and just kind of touched up those dark areas again. And then went back in with Cinder and smoked it out even more. And I did actually go higher on the other eye. You can obviously see it. And then I went in with, I believe this shade is Bronze? Yeah, I think it's Bronze. Anyways, I went in with Porcelain to highlight my brow bone. And then, of course, I went in with, no, that one's Bronze. Bronze in the center of my lid, and then I put a little bit of copper on the outer portion of my crease. And then went back in with Onyx and just kind of smudged that with copper so it blends together. And then this is Rust. And I put that one on the lower lash line with my smudger brush. And then smoked it out with Dune. Then I finished the look with a very beautiful color. I mean, this one is a really pretty color. This one is like quartz? Yeah, quartz. So the shades go same way as the original. You have your warms, you have your cools, and you have your neutrals right there. I like that setup just because it makes it easier to make a look, but I can pull from each one and kind of see exactly what I want to go for. And I did pull a little bit of both in my eye look just to make it more sound and more make it make sense. And that way it kind of goes with my lips. I know my lips are intense right now, guys. I can't get over how intense it is, but it's very blue. But yeah, I really do like this palette. It performed pretty well, and I like the setup of it, and I kind of want to repurchase the matte version so that I can put these two palettes together, but I think I'll hold off because I have a lot of neutral palettes, so that's why I'm like, I'm not going to get another palette just for the sake of it going with this. That's the only drawback about this palette, is that you're gonna need to get a neutral matte palette so that you can have your bases. But luckily I have enough palettes where I can pull from and just kind of pull some neutral bases, like for my crease, my brow bone, and to set my eyeshadow. And you'll see that I use something different, not this palette, but something that I always use to set my eye primer, and just getting a crease shade, getting something just to go with it. But I like how this has pops, and they are very pigmented. I think my favorite one has to be this one. I'm trying to figure out if this is how it goes. I think it's called Jasper. Either Jasper or Bronze. I think it's Bronze. No, it's Jasper. Right? I'm trying to figure out, because that's the only thing, eating my hair. That's the only thing about this is that I'm not sure where to pull, but I think when you flip it over, yeah, the color that I like is Bronze, actually. It's Bronze. So it's this shade right here. It's actually on the inner portion, like the middle of my eye. And it's just super pretty. I don't know what it is, but I'm a sucker for like taupey bronzes. Even though I like warm tones, this is a really, really pretty palette. I mean, it's gorgeous. I really do like it. And that's what I really liked about, I mean, this palette's gorgeous. But I just wish, the only drawback is that I have to pull from other palettes just to make this one make sense. I mean, I did use, a majority is the Shade and Light Glimmer palette, so, I mean, it came out pretty good, so I wouldn't say it's bad. Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. It is very, very simple, kind of like a neutral base. I really don't go for neutrals. I like pops, but I've been liking the neutrals lately just because, I don't know, it just works for me. It's easy for me. It's what I like. It's what I enjoy. But yeah, I do personally love this palette. It's very beautiful. It's very pigmented. It is Kat Von D. I love Kat Von D. And I actually do have a few things that I wanted to, a couple of things that came out, that she just came out with that's new. And I wanted to do kind of like a review and a wear test on that. So stay tuned for that video. I will have that up as soon as possible. Please bear with me if I'm not consistent. I actually did film 3 videos in a row, so I will have at least, I think I might throw in a bonus video, and that way I can kind of be caught up on everything, because I know I skip a few days, it just doesn't work. Yeah, it's a lot of work to have to go to work full-time, juggle kids and school. They just started school. My son started kindergarten, so he only goes in half day, so it's just kind of like, whew, I don't get time for myself very often. But yeah, plus note, me and my husband did just celebrate 10 years of marriage, so I'm very happy, and that's what he got me for. He knows my love for makeup. He has no problem with me loving makeup. He says it's a way to express myself, and he's amazing. He gave me something that I really like. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial on a first impressions. I do love this palette. It's very beautiful, very soft, very elegant. Only thing is I do have to pull from other palettes to get mattes in, which I don't mind because I have plenty of palettes to do so. So if you don't have a neutral palette, please do get a neutral palette. I would probably suggest something that's pretty affordable, the Too Faced Natural Eyes or the Natural Matte palette. That's a good palette to pull neutrals from. And it's straight up matte, the Natural Matte palette, straight up matte, so you don't have to like pull too much. Or you could even get one of her little ones, and I do have one. I would probably prefer getting the Rust one. I have the little baby ones. I have the little Shade and Light minis, and this is Smoke. I actually got it on a clearance at JCPenney. And it was like $15. That's really cheap. But yeah, normally these are $22, and it's actually a really nice palette to kind of pull from. These are going to be my travel palettes, so I really like this one a lot. And I don't typically go for cool tones like this, but I actually am really liking it now that, in my head, summer's over. I really love pulling from that palette, and it actually performs very well. So if you want to see how that palette performs, I can definitely do a video on that as well. But you can have one of those and then just pull from here and you're good you're good because it has mattes and it has basics in there. So yeah, so if you want to hear my recommendation, I do love this palette. If you are into really shimmery, gorgeous metallic shadows, then I definitely recommend this palette, but it's up to you. I can't tell you how it works on your skin because I don't know what you look like and I don't know your skin tone, but if you do have questions, please let me know in the comments down below about any kind of skin tone and what you would think, what palette would work. Anyways, sorry, I was drinking my coffee and I just totally like dripped on my makeup's still intact though. I need a sip of coffee. Anyways, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for supporting my channel, even though it's really, really small. I want to focus on artistry again. I will come back with some Halloween looks in the month of October. I'll probably have Freaky Fridays, so I really am excited about that because I love Halloween. I love everything Halloween. I don't know what it is. I just love it. It makes me happy and it reminds me of my mom, so that's why I do it. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video and I will see you in my next one. Bye!